I'm doing really great, Phil. How you doing down there? How's you guys freezing?
No, we are, but
you know, freeze. I know that.
we're not used to a lot of cold down here in Kentucky.
Yeah, I know. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful spot.
Man, oh man! I tell you what, the show is just selling it like hotcakes, and a lot of people are getting really excited for the show coming up on February 21st.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I think we're out. We've been off for a while, so it's going to be great. We'll have been out on the road and have some shows under our belt, so everybody's going to be all warmed up.
Right on. It is a morning show. Jelli 98.3. JC joining us.
Hey, so tell me this: out of all of the songs you guys have had, what's your favorite to play on stage after all these years? After all these years,
that's like talking about your children. It's really hard to say. You know, what's weird is because we also do shows with the symphony orchestras once in a while.
Oh, really?
And that's
really
crazy. You know, as far as some of the slower songs with 60 instruments behind you sound pretty cool.
I bet they do.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of the ones that get the audience going are kind of the ones that I like to do. Mama Told Me Not to Come, Liar.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got to mention that frog song.
Oh yes,
that frog song. I don't think I'm familiar. Something about no.
Oh no.
Jeremiah. Yeah, you know that one.
Oh man, it is the morning show. Jelli 98.3 talking with Danny Hutton from Three Dog Night coming into concert at the Carson Four Rivers Center on February 21st. Now, you guys are very unique in that you have three lead singers. How does that work? How do you decide who gets to sing on which song?
Oh, everybody just fights over it. No, they just kind of happened that way when I kind of put the group together with Corey, and then we got the other singer in, the three of us, and we were a vocal trio at first. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys produced us.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that was kind of the start. So we just took turns on stuff, and then our manager said, "Go get a band." So we basically, I consider ourselves, you know, we're a band. You know, it's not just singers out front.
Right.
Everybody's contributed so much to all the records, and it's the majority of guys that played on all the records. We're all still together. You know, sometimes you go and see a group and there's like nobody original in it.
Right.
Which to me is a little strange, but
yeah.
We sound like the records. If you like the records, then come and see us because that's how we sound.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to hear when we go to a concert.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You know, there's some groups I know they get bored, and to me it's crazy. Some of the new bands they don't even want to do their hits. You know, it's not hip to do the hits, and I always feel like in the audience I would walk out if somebody did that to me. I don't even like to mess around with the arrangements too much. You know, I think it's good once in a while to let some of the musicians maybe stretch a little bit different. But in general, I don't like to do groups that do medleys and they shorten their songs or they change them radically. I'm the old school. I like it to sound like the records.
Very cool. It is the morning show, Jelli 98.3, talking with Danny Hutton from Three Dog Night. Now, I am curious a little bit about this. Tell me about your days with Hanna-Barbera Records.
Yeah, I was Hanna-Barbera, obviously, was the cartoon company that did the Flintstones and Jellystone Park and all of those shows. And a guy named Don Bohannon took over the record department. They'd been making kiddie albums and decided that he wanted to have a rock label.
Yeah.
So they, through a friend of mine, he told me about it, and I went in and auditioned, and I became the A&R guy for the record company. I wrote, arranged, and played and sang on a bunch of records. And most of the time I would do lead vocal and then three-part harmony in the background. And then if they get any action at all around the country, they would form a group and call them, I remember this group I called, a record I did called By the Bats. So they went out and got a bunch of guys and turned them into the bats.
Really?
And that's what I did, but I was not a performer. I was just like a studio rat. That's all. I was just kind of a producer in the studio. And I cut a song, and Bohannon said, "You know what? I think this is going to be a hit. You should go out and perform." And I said, "I'm not a performer." And he said, "Well, you are now." So they drew me as a cartoon, and I was on the Flintstones.
Were you? You were on the Flintstones.
I was on the Flintstones. Where they introduced Pebbles and Bam Bam singing. I'm on the They're watching me on TV in their little living room in Bedrock.
That's really cool.
And then they shoved me on tour with Sonny and Cher. I did a lot of the TV lip sync. I did American Bandstand and with Dick Clark and all that. And then the first time I actually played to an audience, I played to 5,000 people. The first time.
Wow.
But before I went on stage, I thought, well, I'm either going to faint or get through this. And that was my baptism into live entertaining.
So let me ask you this. You got these new punks out there like Justin Bieber.
Oh, Lord.
And people like that are going around doing all this crazy stuff. And it's right in front of everybody's attention because every time you watch anything on TV, current events, they're always talking about, what's going on with these stars and everything. So what is the biggest mistake you made as an up-and-coming and rising star and as a celebrity, and what would your advice be to these young punks?
Well, I don't think the kid is a punk, but...
Okay, those are my words.
No, he acts like a punk.
Yeah.
But you got a 19-year-old kid, and my guess is, because I know what it was like, he's probably got about 6 hanger-oners. They're all living at his house, and they're all getting high on whatever, from booze to who knows what else. And he's just, he's out partying, and I'm sure he doesn't remember half the stuff the next day that he even did. He's 19,
Right.
So I think for him, the Americans, the United States, how they are. If he does a mea culpa in a year or two and just gets his head together, people are all going to forgive him. It's very hard at that age, 19. The guy is driving around in cars I would kill for.
Yeah.
I'm a car guy. It's like, look at that car that kid had.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. If I was 19 and I had access to all those resources and all those other people and whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the guys he's hanging around with. They're all the enabler guys, and they're I live in L.A. I was brought up from the age of 12 in Hollywood, so I've seen all those guys. The guy comes in and he yesses the kid to death, and then he brings in his buddy, and then they get him hooked, get him high on something, and then he gets caught in that trap where he gets in a bubble, and he doesn't even know what's going on.
Right.
I feel kind of sorry for the kid, but I think I'm not suggesting this, but it blows my mind. He's Canadian. I cannot believe it.
I didn't know that.
You better watch out about getting kicked out of the country.
Well, I mean, Canadians are usually so polite.
Yeah, but I mean, he could just accidentally hurting somebody,
right.
with a car by accident.
Yeah.
But well, I must tell you this: everybody slams the kid.
Yeah, they do.
And I saw him on a TV show singing with Stevie Wonder. And he kept up with him. I thought, holy crap. I think he was 17 at the time, or 18, and I thought, that kid's not bad. If you can stand next to Stevie Wonder and not be embarrassed when you sing, you got some chops.
No doubt about it. It is the morning show with Jelli 98.3. Talking with Danny Hutton from Three Dog Night, the concert coming up at the Carson Center, the Carson Four Rivers Center, February 21st. Tickets, they are getting to be slim pickings right about now.
Well, that's a good thing.
So, it's good that we're selling out, but it's bad that we need to cram more people in there.
Well, talk to me. I can get you some really expensive tickets.
Okay. Right. Hey, Danny. Before we let you go, we want to play a game called 3 and Out.
Oh God! All right. All right.
10 seconds to answer 3 quick questions. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Carrot.
No, well, hang on. Let me get the questions out. All right, question number 1 is, when camping, do you go with a tent or an RV?
Oh, definitely RV. I did a lot of that.
Your favorite side dish?
Favorite side dish? Oh God, what is my favorite side? Hamburger.
And paper or plastic?
Oh, paper.
All right. Danny Hutton, Three Dog Night, the concert coming up February 21st at the Carson Four River Center in Paducah. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you very much. It's going to be great, and we'll try to do a little ear spank on everybody.
Morning Show, Reed and JC. Website, radiojelly.com. Station, Jelli 98.3.